You're listening to UCW Radio.
In your face.
What we got here is a failure to communicate.
Oh, have I got your attention now?
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
You know what I mean?
Money to be made in a place like this.
Money never sleeps, pal.
You're crazy. Don't run when you lose. Don't whine when it hurts.
You know what it takes to sell real estate?
It takes brass.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
All right, welcome to Money Never Sleeps, the show that touches on anything and everything that impacts the flow of money from around the corner to around the world. And I hope that everyone had a great trading week last week and a great weekend to boot. We have another week of opportunity in front of us this week, so get ready, strap yourselves in, because it's going to be an interesting week. There's no question about it. The one thing that I do want to focus on what I do not want to focus on, let me correct myself. What I do not want to focus on during any of our shows is politics. You know, politics is one thing that will create a lot of arguments, controversy, so on and so forth. And the reality of it is, for me personally, this is what matters. All right, I don't care who takes the helm of the United States, whatever it may be. I just hope that they implement some type of solid plan to increase manufacturing in America. Okay, bring jobs back to America, create skilled labor jobs, and recreate a middle class that has been dwindling year over year. That's what is important, and that's what I see as important. Okay, increasing and giving people the opportunity to live the American dream. So that's my input on the show as far as politics and the presidential election, and I'm going to move forward to other things that I find a little more interesting right now. All right, so moving forward, look, I knew this was on tap for a little bit, and over the weekend, the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championships, that is the largest MMA organization on the planet, and they grew it from a bankruptcy state way in the 90s until what you see in front of you right now. It went from basically no holds barred fighting to an actual structured environment where competitors can get into the cage and battle it out. Anyway, so they struck a deal to be acquired by the likes of private equity heavyweights KKR, Starlight Capital, and an investment firm led by Michael Dell. So Wall Street's getting in the cage. Go figure, right? The price tag was $4 billion, and some may think this was a crazy move, but I think it was an interesting move. And that's because, look, I'm pretty sure you got some smart guys, like you got Henry Kravis, KKR, you got Starlight Capital, you got, Michael Dell. These are smart people, and they didn't achieve this degree of success by making a lot of mistakes. Yeah, everyone makes mistakes, but everything's calculated. So I'm pretty sure that they will keep Dana White and the Fertittas in there, because look, they're minority shareholders in any event at this point, but they're going to keep them in place to help continue to build this empire. Now, keep in mind, MMA was just approved in New York, and some other markets will open up, and will increase the revenue flow. But that's not the big money maker. The opportunity to increase merchandising is evident on a global scale. It's there. From developing clothing, toys, action figures, making films, etc., etc., basically taking pages out of the WWE playbook. Yeah, I said it, the WWE playbook, because at the end of the day, being a promoter is being a promoter, and that's what the UFC is. It's a promotion firm. They promote fights. WWE promotes professional wrestling. Okay, it's no different. It's business. These opportunities help not only the UFC as a company, but also the fighters. It's a revenue generator, and look, it's a must-do in order to grow further. So I would definitely keep my eyes on that, even though they're not a public company, but just to see the growth is interesting. And with that said, look, if this move was made at this point, now the question is, how far would this group be away? And I'm just throwing this out there, for making a play for the WWE. Okay, it's possible. And I think that's a good question. And the reality is, look, who is the main man in promoting, events like wrestling and just wrestling events? You have Vince McMahon. He changed the whole industry. I don't care what people think about him. He was the innovator. And you can't innovate without people, knocking it down. And basically, he's an innovator, and he's done a heck of a job doing it. He's created more celebrities than probably a lot of movie studios. And this is what he does. He's given the opportunity to people like Hulk Hogan, household name. Way back when, you have Macho Man Randy Savage. You have The Rock. If it wasn't for pro wrestling, there would be no Rock right now in movies. Okay, and he is the highest grossing action film star, he's film star period at this point. And he's doing all these innovative stuff. So, Dwayne Johnson, hats off to you, man, because you're making everything happen. You're inspiring people. But the point is that when you have that playbook there that works, would it make sense? Okay, I believe the market cap on the WWE is somewhere, north of 1.5. Maybe it's the $2 billion range. Either way, I think that if they were to go and grab something like this and kind of align it with the UFC, wow. Okay, that would be big time. Now, will it happen? Who knows? Who knows it's going to happen? I mean, this is just a thought that I had. But I do know that this would be a hell of a compliment to the UFC as the crossover pro wrestlers like Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, from the world of pro wrestling to the world of MMA. It's increasing. So why not take advantage of it? Again, I don't know what the ultimate price tag would be, if they were to go and try to acquire the WWE. I would venture to say it would have to be north of $2 billion for something like that to happen. But it would be interesting, very interesting. Anyway, in the healthy choices arena, we're seeing the true growth in living a healthy lifestyle. More and more people are getting up, they're getting active, they're getting their body moving. They want to eat better. They don't want to eat garbage. They want to eat better. And the acquisitions, as well as the development of new brands, are on the rise. Case in point, recently, is the $10.4 billion acquisition of White Wave Foods by Danone, the French company. This gives Danone a strong foothold in the U.S. markets. Now, you may not know the name White Wave, but you know their brands such as Silk Milk, Horizon Organic, So Delicious, International Delight, ID Dairy Creamers, and Earthbound Farm Organic, to name a few. Now, this is only, in my opinion, it's only the beginning, as you have companies such as Coca-Cola, Pepsi, General Mills, Campbell Soup, and Kellogg's. They're all jockeying for position in the organic market. Now, it's a profitable business. And go figure, eating unhealthy with the likes of McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, etc. is cheaper than eating healthy. It still blows my mind, but this is the way of the world. This is the way the world is operating right now, and as long as people live a healthier lifestyle, this is what will drive the market. And trust me, more people are exercising, doing yoga, running, CrossFit, hitting the weights, anything to keep their body and mind in order. Now, some big news today is a collaboration between Microsoft and GE in the cloud business. All right, now, I know I'm switching topics pretty quickly, but the reality is that, I only have so much time to talk. But the big news is that collaboration of Microsoft and GE in the cloud business. Now, if you think that this is about two giants coming together to throw ideas on the wall, then you'd be wrong. So wrong. The competition in the cloud business is heating up in a big way. Amazon, oh man, what a dice roll. I love the company. It's such an innovative company. Jeff Bezos is the driving force behind it. He's been criticized, crucified, but look at him now. And look at what he continues to do. It's amazing. But Amazon rolled the dice with the cloud business, with their AWS products, and it took off like wildfire. No one knew what was happening. But like, wow, they didn't even know it was that profitable. But now you have Google. They're heavy into the cloud business, in case you didn't know. And of course, it makes sense that Microsoft and GE would jump in to compete. But coming together, I think it's a necessary evil, because you can't go, and it's going to be very difficult to go and Microsoft by itself to go in and go head to head with Amazon or Google. So they need that partner in there. And basically, they've been making strategic acquisitions, like they acquired LinkedIn, and they've been making strategic alliances along the way. It's a new era. It's not the Bill Gates era. Okay, it's a new era, so we'll see what's going to happen there. Now, in case you're not familiar with the cloud business, let me just give you an idea what we are talking about. We're talking about unlimited capacity, where you can run the streaming for a company like Netflix. Netflix, they use the AWS platform, and this is where you can run a corporate internet infrastructure without having a server, but having access and redundancy on a global basis. In short, all your files are securely online and can be accessed by a company or an individual that owns it. Anywhere in the world. Okay? And your downtime would be nothing, because they have the redundancy in place and your content is secured. Of course, you have King Kong servers, okay, that are behind all this, but you don't need your own service. You're not spending that money on a server and keeping on top of everything yourself. They have it all set up. All you need to do is get your IT guy there to partition everything, and away you go. This is both cost effective and provides a solid infrastructure where for a couple $100 a month, a company can keep working material in the cloud or on the cloud, and have their team access it via their mobile devices, computers, so on and so forth. So many different things that they can actually do there. So there are other companies that actually provide this service, but the strongest ones are the ones that I just mentioned. Now, I want to touch on something briefly, only because for some reason it was on my mind over the weekend. I want to touch on the shell game, basically, over the decades, there've been companies and individuals that crank out small shell public companies. Basically, they get them trading on the pink sheets, the over-the-counter bulletin board. These companies have no assets, no revenue, so on and so forth, but they crank them out, and they for $5-10 and they go and they have hopes of selling them off to a reverse merger candidate. So basically a company that wants to go public, but they don't want to do a traditional IPO, so they wind up reverse merging into a publicly traded company. Now, what the problem I have with this, and I have to stress this, you have companies out there that couldn't make a run of it. They're publicly traded, and with a little cleaning up, could be good candidates to take in a reverse merger. Okay, but then you have these companies that are set up just for the reverse merger, and you have quote unquote brokers. They're not stockbrokers, they're unregistered brokers that go and peddle these shells solely to have a company reverse merge into it, and they get paid well to make this happen. All right, these public shells can go anywhere from $100,000 to $300,000, $500,000. It all depends. Again, you do have publicly traded shells that were actual companies that just couldn't cut it, or they went private or whatever, and the shell was left over. Those situations are understandable. I'm mentioning this because if you or anyone that you know is looking to reverse merge into a public company, please, I must implore you to make sure that you use a qualified attorney to guide you to a viable and honest situation. The horror stories that I have heard throughout the years from everyone from independent brokers to small stock brokerage firms, not only providing the public shell, but also tying these unsuspecting new CEOs of a public entity into promotion agreements, PR deals, pipe deals, basically setting them up to fail and struggle from inception. A lot of money's laid out in the beginning, and basically you're talking about a small company that's trying to grow. Now, if you have a larger company that has the access to capital and everything, and they're looking to do that, they'll have more control. And basically the moves they're going to make are going to be smarter. Because I would hope they would have their legal counsel in place to help them to go seek out the right situation. So just be aware. You can always go to FalconGlobalAcquisitions.com to learn more. But if you are, or anyone that you know, looking to do something like this, just please get a qualified attorney. You can go online and find a qualified attorney and just find out more about them before and utilize them to help you find that shell if you're looking to go that route. All right, now moving on. And we're going to, what we're going to start doing here on Money Never Sleeps, we're going to be adding some really, really interesting features. And I believe that these features will be of value to entrepreneurs anywhere, not only in the United States, but anywhere in the world. We're going to be featuring small businesses, local businesses, growth companies, and innovative startups on the show. We will be talking to these entrepreneurs, learning a little more about their history, where they started, why, the struggles, the victories, basically giving our listeners and viewers an insight to being an entrepreneur in America today. And it's a struggle. This will both be a radio show and a web-based TV program. It will be very interesting, and I welcome everyone to participate in the show. If you have a company that has a good story that you think that would be of value to people, to entrepreneurs, definitely reach out to us. You can email us at moneyneversleepsradio.com or go to ucwmagazine.com, reach out to us and let us know. We can't find everyone, but we try to pick the ones that have stories that aren't normally shared but should be shared. Okay, but anyway, that's about it for this segment of Money Never Sleeps. Check us out on moneyneversleepsradio.com, on iTunes, Player FM, Stitcher, and many other places online. Make sure to always check into Pete Nigerian on the CNBC Halftime Report and Fast Money for serious trading insight from him and his crew. They give you what you need. If you're a trader, whether you're a day trader, a weekly trader, monthly trader, a trader and investor are two different things. But if you're looking to capitalize on what's going on, just having that insight becomes very helpful. And they have the goods. Okay. Anyway, until next time, have an awesome and profitable trading day and week. And thanks for tuning in to Money Never Sleeps Radio.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
You're listening to UCW Radio. In your face.
What is your major malfunction?
So let it be written. So let it be done.
Ladies and gentlemen, my mother thanks you, my father thanks you, my sister thanks you, and I thank you.
All opinions expressed by Luis Velazquez on the Money Never Sleeps radio show and its website are solely his opinions and do not reflect the opinions of the UCW radio show or their parent company or affiliates, and may have been previously disseminated by him on television, radio, internet, or another medium. You should not treat any opinion expressed by him as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a particular strategy, but only as an expression of his opinion. His opinions are based upon information he considers to be reliable, but neither the UCW radio show nor its affiliates, parent companies, and or subsidiaries warrant its completeness or accuracy, and it should not be relied upon as such. The UCW radio show, Luis Velazquez, its affiliates, parent companies, and or subsidiaries are not under any obligation to update or correct any information provided on the radio show or on the website. His statements and opinions are subject to change without notice. No part of his compensation from the UCW radio show is related to the specific opinions he expresses. Please read the full disclaimer on MoneyNeverSleepsRadio.com.